In 1996, California passed Proposition 215, a groundbreaking piece of legislation that legalized medical marijuana in the state. It started a gradual trend around America, with 15 states, as well as Washington, D.C., now allowing medical marijuana. Michigan is included in this list, as medical marijuana was officially legalized on December 4, 2008. Most recently, Arizona passed Proposition 203, legalizing medical marijuana in the generally conservative state. On October 19th, East Lansing held a city council meeting in which the council and residents discussed three alternative ordinances to the medical marijuana law. The ordinances presented run all ends of the spectrum. Ordinance 1245A seems the most moderate. It allows for primary caregiver operations within East Lansing, but no dispensaries. Ordinance 1245B is clearly the most restrictive. It outlaws both primary caregiver operations and dispensaries. 1245B does allow medical marijuana to be grown and stored within the city, but it must be either delivered directly to a patient's home or given to them outside of the city. Ordinance 1245C is the most liberal and drew the most crowd support at the council meeting. It allows for dispensaries in East Lansing within a specified business district. Due to these ordinances currently being discussed, medical marijuana is an issue of prime importance in the community right now. Supporters of medical marijuana often point to the economic benefits that it brings, saying that it creates more state tax revenue. Some believe it cuts down on crime involving illegal drugs as well. Some supporters even use this type of reasoning to argue for legalizing marijuana, period. On a municipal level, dispensaries create local business. Aside from economic help, supporters point to the relief medical marijuana provides to patients in need. The medicine has proven to greatly help those with chronic pain and illness. Those opposed to medical marijuana often point to the path it creates to recreational use. While the argument would be lost on any supporter of legalized marijuana, it clearly has validity against supporters of strictly medical marijuana. One need only look at California's recent attempt to legalize marijuana in the state to see that recreational use is being considered. Opponents of medical marijuana also point to the federal law prohibiting the drug for any use. To supporters who talk about the true help that it brings to patients in need, opponents argue about the patients not in need that misuse the medicine. They say that the regulation of medical marijuana cards that patients must have is weak, allowing for those not in need of the medicine to procure it. People on either side of the argument have supporting evidence to point to in the area of the health effects of medical marijuana. However, many studies expand further than medical marijuana to marijuana itself. A 2009 U.S. study out of the Fred Hutchinson Cancer Research Center shows that marijuana smokers have a 70% increased risk of testicular cancer at the time of diagnosis. While this statistic is quite clear, other studies have seemed to contradict each other. A 2009 U.S. study from the Cancer Prevention Research Journal shows that long-term marijuana users have a decreased risk of developing certain kinds of cancer. A 1974 U.S. study determined that marijuana use inhibits the growth of lung cancer cells, but a 2009 New Zealand study contradicts that. The New Zealand study shows that marijuana use increases the risk of lung cancer. Whatever the true effects are, neither side looks ready to budge anytime soon. The issue of medical marijuana in East Lansing will not be going away anytime soon. The City Council continues to discuss the proposed ordinances, relying heavily on public opinion. The Council is also working closely with the City Planning Commission to resolve the issue. The Planning Commission would set the official spacing limits to where dispensaries and primary caregiver operations can be. As progress is made in this process, residents of East Lansing and students of Michigan State are sure to give their full attention to it.